Hello class, welcome to week 4 of math. It's hard to believe we've been at this for 4 weeks already, but here we are. I hope you all had a great weekend and are ready for another week of some exciting new learning opportunities headed your way. You've all done a really nice job in math. I'm really proud of you and keep up the good work. I know it's not the same of being at school, but you guys are doing a really nice job and I have noticed it and I'm proud of you and keep it up. And not only for math, but for all your classes, all right? Put forth your best effort and reach out to your teachers when you need help or if you don't understand something, we're here to help you guys. So we don't want you sitting at home struggling or just not doing it because you don't understand it. Definitely reach out if you need some help. So this week in math, we're going to be covering area of a circle. So we finished up circumference last week with our test on Wednesday, and now we're going to be covering area of a circle. So today you are going to take notes. You do need to submit them tonight by 9 p.m. for a grade. So why don't you pause this, go grab a piece of paper and something to write with so you can take notes because like I said, you're going to have to submit them tonight for a grade. This is today's assignment. So pause it and go get what you need. All right, like I said, we are going to be covering area of a circle today. All right. Like I said, we had finished up circumference last week. And if you can remember, when we have a circle, the circumference was the distance around the circle. All right. Kind of like perimeter when we're working with squares and rectangles. But circles, they call it circumference. All right. But today we're going to be covering the area of a circle. And what the area is, it's all this inside. All right. The area is everything inside the circle. So that's what we're going to be calculating today. How much area that circle is taking up. Like circumference, we will be using a formula to help us calculate the area of a circle. To calculate the area of a circle, our formula is area equals pi times our radius squared. All right, that's our formula. And remember, our formula is kind of like our directions or our guide to help us calculate something. So like we did with circumference, we're just going to plug our numbers into our formula and then we'll get our area. The big thing to remember though, when we're covering area of a circle is you can only use the radius. All right, that's the most important thing to remember during this is we can only use the radius to calculate the area of a circle. When we calculated circumference, we could use the diameter or the radius, but when we're calculating the area of a circle, we can only use the radius. But no worries, if I give you some problems with the diameter, you know how to figure out what the radius is when you're given a diameter. So, and if you forgot, don't worry, we're going to cover it in today's notes. So, why don't we get started here? I'm going to give us a new circle here to get started, and we are going to do a few practice problems. All right, and key thing, remember with notes is try to write what I write because these notes are going to help you on Wednesday's assignment. So whatever I write, I would have you guys write too, just like at school if we were taking notes, because these notes are going to help you on Wednesday's assignment. So let's get started. All right, so we have a circle here. I am going to give it a radius of, let's go 4 meters. All right, so there's my circle. We know it's a radius because it only goes halfway through the circle. The diameter goes the whole way. And it's 4 meters. So like I said before, here's our formula to figuring out the area of a circle. And we can remember anytime we see the little pi sign with the squiggly line and then the 2 straight lines under it, we always use 3.14. That'll never change. Anytime we see that pi sign, we know we always put in 3.14. And the other part we need is radius squared. If you can remember back to our exponent lesson, remember this is our exponent and r is our base. And remember this number tells us how many times we need to multiply the base by itself. So in this case, it would be r times r because that 2 tells us we're multiplying r 2 times. And that'll make more sense here when we do an example problem, but that's just to refresh your memory on exponents. So let's get started with our first problem here. So I'm going to rewrite my formula. A equals pi times radius squared. So again, our formula, let's just start plugging in our numbers. So we know pi is 3.14 and times my radius squared. Well, I know my radius is 4, so that's going to go in for r, but then we have to remember to square it. That's the key part here, okay? I think that's where some of you guys are going to forget to do that, and you have to remember to always square your radius. So I'm going to keep going down here. A equals 3.14 times my radius squared. And now remember, when we're squaring our radius, it would be 4 times 4. So our 2 tells us to multiply our 4 by itself 2 times. So 4 times 4 is 16. And now I'm going to plug that in my calculator, 3.14 times 16. And I am going to get 50.24 meters. All right. So again, we need the radius. And in our first circle here, that was our radius, was 4. So it was just 3.14 times our radius squared. So 3.14 times 4 squared, which was 16, and multiplied that by 3.14, and we got 50.24 meters. And we always have to square our unit of measurement because that tells us its area. And seeing as area is always squared, we always have to make sure we put that little 2 in our answer to show that that area was squared. All right, so that's our answer for example number 1. All right, let's look at another example here. So I'm going to give you a circle, and this time though, let's use the diameter. All right, let's give our diameter, let's go 16, whoops, hold on, back that up, 16 centimeters. All right, so I'm going to write down our formula, A equals pi times the radius squared. But what we need to do is now we need to figure out what our radius is. So we know that 16 is our diameter, so we need to figure out our radius. And if you can remember, if we have the diameter and we need the radius, we need to divide the diameter, which is 16, by 2 to give us our radius. And 16 divided by 2 is 8, so 8 is our radius. So now we can go back and plug our numbers into our formula now that we have our radius. So again, area equals, for pi, we always put in 3.14 times our radius. And now remember, we just figured out our radius, which is 8 times 8 squared. So just going to keep working my way down. 3.14 times 8 squared. Remember, 8 squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. And we can go ahead and plug that into our calculator. 3.14 times 64 gives us 200.96 centimeters squared. Remember, it's always squared. All right, so they gave us a diameter. All we had to do was figure out the radius by dividing our diameter by 2, and that gave us our radius. And then we can go ahead and start plugging our numbers into our formula to calculate the area. All right, now I want you guys to try a couple just to see how you do. So I will give you a circle. Here's our first one. Well, that's not a very good circle, but that's okay. That's not a good line either. Hold on. Okay, there we go. A little straighter for you. First one, let's go 5 inches. All right. Now what I want you to do is pause this. I want you to work it out. Use your notes from the first 2 examples I just did and see how you do. And after you get your answer, unpause it and check to see how you did. All right, so first things first, what I'm going to do is I am going to write down my formula. Area equals pi times my radius squared. And I know on my first circle they gave me the radius, so I don't have to figure out what it is. They gave it to me. So I'm going to do A equals, for pi, I always put in 3.14 times my radius, which is 5 squared. And I'm going to keep working my way down, showing my work, times, remember, 5 times 5 is what 5 squared is, and that's 25. Plug that into my calculator, 3.14 times 25 gives me 78.5 inches squared. Remember to put that squared in there. All right, that's important when we're calculating area. All right, let's do one more. Do purple. All right, here's our circle. And this time, I'm going to give you the diameter. And let's see, oops. Let's go with 14 feet for our diameter. It's a big circle. All right, pause it, work it out, and then come back and check your answer to see how you did. So I'm going to start with my formula. A equals pi times my radius squared. All right, I need my radius. So I see that they gave me my diameter, which is 14 feet. So to figure out my radius, I need to take 14, divide it by 2, which gives me 7. Now that is my radius. All right, anytime we need to figure out the radius, we have to divide the diameter by 2. So area equals 3.14 times 7 squared. Again, just keep working down. 3.14 times 7 squared would be 7 times 7, gives me 49. And I put that in my calculator. 3.14 times 49 gives me 153.86 feet, and area is always squared. So I hope you got those answers for both of those. If not, just go back and check your work and look at my work and see where you went wrong, okay? And then fix your errors, because you don't want your notes to have the wrong answers on them. Like I said, you're going to use these notes to help you on the assignment for Wednesday. It'll be just like this. I think 6 problems. You're going to have 3 problems with the radius, 3 problems with the diameter. Remember that you need the radius to figure out area of a circle, okay? Do not square the diameter. You need to figure out what the radius is and then square that. So if you're having problems on the assignment on Wednesday, email me, call me, jump into my video conference. On Wednesday, I had a couple kids jump in and I helped them with the test. So I don't want you struggling, and I don't want you just to not do it because you don't understand it. I'm here to help you guys, all right? So my video conferences are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. You can hop in anytime. And then Thursdays, it's from 9:45 to 10:30. So if you're unsure of what you need to do, definitely reach out to me, all right? I'm here to help you, and I want you to learn this and make it as painless as possible. So know I miss you guys, and I hope you have a great week. No, I'm thinking of you, and hope everything's going well and you're all staying safe and healthy. And reach out to me if you need help or if there's anything I can help you with. All right.